Hello, Jack Love 4. How you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Making a video response to your video about Pat Condell and Sharia law and burqas, veil wearing, etc., etc., etc. Now you know that you and I almost always agree on subjects. You might not know that, really, but we do, because I watch many of your videos, many, and so I know that you and I, agree on most issues. But I think on this one, we'll have to agree to disagree. I do not think that Mr. Condell is propagandizing the issue. I don't think he's against the wearing of burqas by females in their own countries. I think he's against the spreading of Sharia law to England and to Europe in general. I think that I'm also against that, although I don't live in Europe, because I'm against it spreading to the United States and Canada and Mexico and anywhere I might go. Because I'm against living in a land where I have to walk outside and view slavery. And make no mistake, Sharia law is slavery. Now, I don't care if they want to practice that in Afghanistan or Iran or Saudi Arabia or any list of medieval countries you want to come up with, because that's their right as citizens of that country. But I feel that we as Americans and Western Europeans in general have spilt too much blood over too many years to lightly give that up, the idea of freedom and equality, to just give that up in the face of medieval religious pressure. And it is medieval religious pressure, medieval propaganda, as you succinctly pointed out with the Catholic Church's use of propaganda. And the years would be about right. What did you say that was? 1622? I can't recall right now. But you look at Christianity and then look at the birth of Islam. Islam, the Muslim religion, about 500 years lagging behind in creation to Christianity. And they still are. So we're in the 21st century. They're in the 16th. That's not surprising, actually. But it does not mean that we have to accommodate 16th century beliefs in our own countries. It does not mean that we cannot point out that these are barbaric practices, that these are medieval practices in comparison to the modern world. Everything in the modern world is not evil. Equality is not evil. Freedom is not evil. And if your religion preaches that it is, then maybe your religion is suspect. And again, if that's the practice that they want to have in their own countries, it's their right to do so. But you see, in my country, in our country, in my town here, I can't even walk into my bank wearing a pair of sunglasses. They don't want any customers to approach the teller wearing sunglasses. When you go to get a driver's license photo, who among us likes their driver's license photo? But does that mean I can wear a bag over my head when I get my photo taken? I think not. We dress these things up as religious freedoms and rights, but no. No, it's propaganda, as you say. If we drop back in time in our own country, let's take a little time trip. It's 2009. Let's go back to 1809, a mere 200 years. And let's go to, let's say, Georgia. In the United States, a plantation. And let's gather all the slaves together. And let's get the owner and the overseer and the various slave masters, and let's bring them all together, underneath a spreading oak, and we'll have some lemonade, and we'll talk. And we'll ask the slaves, how do you feel about this system? How do you feel about the whole plantation system and your place in it? Tell us now. What do you think they would say? Do you think that they would say, hey, this sucks. This completely sucks. I hate this system. It's completely unequal. I mean, I am the equal of this owner, of this overseer, of these slave masters. I have all the rights that they have. And their taking away of my rights is a horror. It's completely wrong. Do you think they would have said that? Really? Yes, some slaves escaped. And some slaves, former slaves, wrote books about their experiences. And some slaves, former slaves, agitated for the emancipation of all other slaves. And eventually it was done. So now are we to turn a blind eye on others who would import religious slavery into our country? Should Mr. Condell condone that in his own country? The importation and implementation of Sharia law in a 21st century country? Because it is slavery. These women cannot even hope to have higher education. They can't even walk down the street alongside their men. They have to walk behind. If they're caught going to the marketplace with a man who is not a blood relation or their husband, they can be killed instantly. No recourse. These things are done. Women are thrown down wells by their fathers just for the appearance of impropriety. These things are done. These are not horror stories that are just made up to frighten children. These things happen. Do we want that to happen here? Do you want to see that happen in London? Or Paris? Stockholm? You're talking about people who would kill you over a cartoon. Sometimes we have to say, when things are wrong, we have to say, no, you do not have the right to import that belief system into my country. Sometimes we have to say that. And I think this is one of those times. So, that's my 2 cents worth. Or tuppence. Hey, you look good with a veil on. But we wouldn't have known that if you were wearing a burqa now, would we? Have a good day, my friend. I will talk to you later.